like Ozgur.
All right. Well, how you doing today? What brings you to Visions?
Well, I am here because I wrote a book. It's a children's book. It's a poem called 1,000,000 Kisses, The Promise of 153. And I wanted to share that with your students, and I wanted to do a poetry workshop so they too can feel that they can be poets as well.
So, from my understanding, you had an assembly this morning also. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, it was wonderful. It was a little bit after 9 o'clock, so the students were all fresh and they came into the gymnasium, I believe it was, and it was all of the classes, and they came in and they sat down, and they were so well behaved and patient, and they were listening as I introduced myself and who I am and what the book's about. And then I read the book, and I had a little PowerPoint that had all the pages really large so everyone in the gymnasium could see. And then I opened it up to some questions, and I had some great questions, and everyone was listening to my answers, and hopefully they came away with a little bit of information on what it takes to become a published author.
Do you feel like the feedback you got from the students was it something that you expected? Was it better than you expected? As far as
Well,
how they reacted to the book and you yourself, just engaging in conversation with younger students.
Well, I think anytime there's a visitor that comes to a school, students always really react positively, and Vision Academy was no exception to that. So when I came into Vision Academy, they were all very excited to see a different person in front of them other than their teacher, and to have the experience where their teacher talks about authors and poets and poetry, to actually see like a real one in the flesh, I think really helps add to the learning experience and makes what they're learning in the classroom come alive and see it happen in the real world.
Well, do you have any final remarks as far as it could be a little background on the book or just how you feel in general? What's your game plan for the summer? What's up next as far as promotion for the book or any future possible books?
Sure. I have a couple of poems that are a full-length book that I'm hoping to put together, and one's called Bad Day, Good Day, and it's about having a really bad day, and if you read the book, hopefully by the end it's so silly that you wind up having a much better mood. And I also have one that's about learning to advocate for yourself and bullying a little bit on how to stand up to anything that's negative going on with you. And then I also have another one, and that's yet another rhyming book, and that one's Stop It, I Don't Like It, Never Do It Again. There's also another one that I have that is all about your temper and how you should count to 10 and slow your breath when you get really upset. So I have all these different examples of why you might be upset during the day, especially in a school setting, that you'd be able to do that. Finally, I have a bunch of poetry collections that as a teacher, I know I'm always looking for a bunch of different poems that I can find, and if I'm teaching a certain concept, I have to scramble around and maybe find like 10 different resources to teach a certain standard and a certain skill. So what I'm hoping to do is have this poetry collection that has all those different types of poems, that have all those different examples of onomatopoeia, personification, figurative language, all together in one with a bunch of questions, because we see things like that in big fat literature books and you have to sift through the whole thing, but I haven't really found a whole lot in one small resource that would be affordable for a teacher, and that's what I would love as a teacher, is to have something like that. So I'm hoping that I'll find a way to make that available to teachers.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming to Visions Academy, enlightening our students on some of your poetry, and also just speaking to the students, giving them the opportunity to meet a published author, a poet. You never know what effect or impact this day, just you coming and speaking to the students, may have caused on, even if it's one particular student. On behalf of Vision Academy Charter School, we appreciate you, and we definitely hope this is not the last time we see you.
I hope so too. I would love that, and I'd love to touch base with all the students I didn't get a chance to answer all of the questions, so I told the students and the teachers to keep in touch. You can send me an email, and I would love to find out what other activities you did with poetry from now until the end of the year, because we have a long way until June. So I'd love for some updates. And really, it is all about inspiring these kids to look at life in a different way, and then take your unique perspective and put it on paper and share it with the world. And so that's what I'm hoping to help kids to believe in themselves and touch upon their unique experiences and let them know that their perspective is valued and welcomed.